The year is 476 AD. A German chieftain named Odoacer deposes the last emperor of the Western Roman Empire, a young boy ironically named Romulus Augustulus. To many, this event marks the end of an era, the final, shuddering collapse of the greatest empire the world had ever known. The lights of civilization, it seemed, were going out across Europe. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to the Rise and Relic. But history is rarely so simple, so clean-cut. While the city of Rome fell into shadow and its western provinces fractured into a mosaic of barbarian kingdoms, a vast and powerful part of the Roman world did not fall. In the east, the empire endured not for a few decades, but for nearly 1,000 more years. It would become a beacon of law, learning and faith, a direct continuation of Rome itself, yet transformed into something new. This surviving eastern half, which we now call the Byzantine Empire, is the great sequel to Rome's story. Its capital, Constantinople, was a fortress city, a commercial hub, and the heart of a vibrant Christian civilization. How did this empire, this second Rome, managed to outlive its Western counterpart by a millennium? How did it withstand relentless pressure from all sides? Persian armies, Arab caliphates, Slavic tribes, crusading knights? The answer lies in a combination of strategic location, formidable defences, sophisticated diplomacy, and a deep-seated belief in its own divine and imperial destiny. The story of the Byzantine Empire properly begins not with a fall, but with a foundation. It starts with one of the most consequential figures in Roman history, Emperor Constantine the Great. By the early 4th century, the Roman Empire was a sprawling, almost ungovernable entity. Constantine recognized the empire's center of gravity had shifted decisively to the east. Its wealth, its population, its most pressing military threats. The old city of Rome, steeped in pagan tradition, was far from the critical frontiers, the Danube, Persia, and was no longer the strategic heart of the world. Constantine needed a new capital that could command the crossroads of Europe and Asia, control the vital trade routes of the Black Sea, and serve as a bastion of the Christian faith he had recently embraced. He chose an ancient Greek city called Byzantium. On November 8th, 324 AD, he laid out the boundaries for his new metropolis. On May 11th, 330 AD, it was formally dedicated as Constantinople, the city of Constantine. Its location was a stroke of strategic genius. Situated on a peninsula, it was protected by water on 3 sides. It commanded the Bosphorus, the only passage between the Mediterranean and the Black Sea, giving its rulers a stranglehold on trade. Massive land walls, built and later expanded by his successors, would make the city nearly impregnable for 1,000 years. This new Rome was explicitly Christian from its inception, adorned not with temples to Jupiter, but with magnificent churches dedicated to Christ. Byzantium reached one of its most brilliant peaks in the 6th century under the rule of an emperor of extraordinary ambition and energy, Justinian I. Ruling from 527 to 565, Justinian rose from humble origins and dreamed on a grand scale. He pursued the Renovatio Imperii, the restoration of the Roman Empire. He refused to accept the loss of the western provinces, Italy, North Africa, Spain. He sent his general Belisarius on bold campaigns. 534, Belisarius defeated the Vandal kingdom in North Africa. Then came the long war against the Ostrogoths for Italy. For a brief moment, the Mediterranean looked like a Roman lake. But those wars drained blood and treasure. They exhausted the treasury and thinned the army, opening the east to the Sasanian Persians. Yet Justinian's impact went beyond war. He built and reformed the law. His crowning architectural achievement was Hagia Sophia, built in 5 years and finished in 537. Its vast dome, lit by 40 windows, seemed to float on light. Contemporary engineers called it an unprecedented marvel. It proclaimed Byzantine power, wealth and faith. His legal commission produced the Corpus Juris Civilis, preserving Roman legal principles that shaped modern Europe. The glories of Justinian's reign could not last forever. His wars of reconquest left the treasury depleted and the frontiers dangerously overextended. The 7th century would bring a new and unforeseen challenge that would threaten the very existence of the empire. In the deserts of the Arabian Peninsula, a powerful new religion, Islam, emerged and unified the Arab tribes into a formidable military and political force. Fired by religious zeal and brilliant generalship, Arab armies burst out of Arabia in the 600s and 30s with astonishing speed and force, directing their primary energy against the 2 great empires of the age, Byzantium and Persia. The Sasanian Empire collapsed completely. The Byzantines, exhausted by prior wars, were hit incredibly hard. One by one, its wealthiest and most ancient provinces fell. In 636, Yarmouk led to the loss of Syria, Palestine, including Jerusalem. Shortly after, Egypt, the empire's primary source of grain, was conquered. Within decades, Byzantium had lost more than half its territory and population. The empire became a smaller, embattled state, essentially Anatolia, the Balkans, and parts of Italy. The economic and military consequences were catastrophic. The Arab caliphates attacked Anatolia and twice besieged Constantinople, 674 to 678 and 717 to 718, beaten back by mighty walls and Greek fire. Forced to adapt, Byzantium reorganized into military provinces called themes, each under a strategos, granting soldiers land for hereditary service, a resilient, localized defense that laid the groundwork for survival and resurgence. After centuries of defensive warfare and territorial loss, the Byzantine Empire experienced a remarkable revival, beginning in the late 9th century. Well, you know. This period is known as the Macedonian Renaissance, named for the dynasty that presided over it. Beginning with Basil. The first in 867, capable rulers stabilized the empire, reformed finances and pushed back its frontiers. The empire, once on the brink, was again on the offensive. Armies reconquered in the east, capturing key cities like Antioch, and re-established control over southern Italy. It culminated with Basil II, 976 to 1025, the Bulgar Slayer, whose campaigns brought the Balkans under Byzantine control by 1018. Prosperity returned, funding new churches and lavish mosaics and frescoes. Scholars preserved and copied Greek manuscripts, Plato, Aristotle, Homer, safeguarding classical heritage. The empire projected immense power and prestige, wielding diplomacy, wealth and marriage alliances, alongside Orthodox missions. Saint Cyril and Methodius created the Glagolitic script to translate the Bible, aiding the conversion of Bulgarians, Serbs and, most importantly, the Kievan Rus. The confidence and power of the Macedonian era created a sense of security that, tragically, proved to be an illusion. After the death of Basil II in 1025, the empire was ruled by a succession of less competent emperors. The land-based military aristocracy vied for power with the civil bureaucracy in Constantinople. The theme system decayed as landowners absorbed soldier plots, weakening native forces and increasing reliance on unreliable mercenaries. A new enemy, the Seljuk Turks, nomads from Central Asia who had converted to Islam, swept through Persia and raided deep into Anatolia. Unlike earlier plunder raids, entire tribes sought pasture, disrupting the empire's agricultural heartland, its manpower and food. The decisive moment came in the year 1071. Romanos IV. Diogenes gathered a large, disparate army, Byzantine troops and many mercenaries, including rival Turkic tribes, to confront Sultan Alp-Arslan. The two armies met near the town of Manzikert in eastern Anatolia. Treachery within the ranks and the tactical superiority of Seljuk horse archers led to a crushing defeat. Worse still, Romanos was captured, an unprecedented humiliation. The capture triggered civil war. With armies fighting each other, Anatolia lay undefended. The Seljuks poured in, and within a decade, nearly all this vital territory was lost, along with recruits, food, and a major tax base. A mortal wound. The disaster at Manzikert plunged the empire into a desperate struggle for survival. The new emperor, Alexios I Komnenos, a brilliant general and diplomat, managed to stabilize the situation. Facing the loss of Anatolia, he sought Western aid, appealing to Pope Urban II in 1095. A request that helped launch the First Crusade. Though crusaders helped recapture coastal cities, mutual suspicion, cultural differences, and competing ambitions soured relations. The breaking point came with the Fourth Crusade. In 1204, diverted by Venetian ambition and Byzantine politics, a crusading army sacked Constantinople. Looting, destruction, slaughter. Priceless relics were taken, bronzes melted, Hagia Sophia desecrated, an indelible scar between East and West. The Crusaders founded a Latin empire and carved up Byzantine lands. Byzantine elites fled to successor states. In 1261, a general from Nicaea retook Constantinople, restoring the empire under the Palaiologoi, but only a shadow remained. 2 centuries of civil strife, economic collapse, and the relentless rise of the Ottomans followed. By 1453, Mehmed II besieged the city with massive forces and revolutionary cannons. After 53 days, on May 29th, the city fell. Constantine XI died fighting. The 1,000-year-old Roman Empire came to its final end. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 was a thunderclap that echoed across the world. It marked the definitive end of the Roman Empire. Yet its influence was far from over. For centuries, Byzantium shielded the West, buying time for fragile kingdoms to become nations. Justinian's Corpus Juris Civilis sparked a legal revolution, forming canon law and the basis of civil law across continental Europe, Latin America, and beyond. A centralized state, professional bureaucracy, and sacral autocracy inspired later rulers, especially in Russia, with Moscow as the Third Rome. Byzantium's artistry, breathtaking mosaics, sublime icons, magnificent architecture, still inspires awe. Its visual language shapes Orthodox Christianity to this day. Byzantine scholars preserved Greek philosophy, science, and literature. Their flight with manuscripts helped spark the Italian Renaissance. As cradle of orthodoxy, Byzantium's missionaries converted the Balkans and the Rus, creating a cultural sphere that endures. From legal codes to sacred art, the echo of Byzantium is all around us, a testament to a civilization that carried the torch of Rome. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.